Sometimes, the woman you want the most is the one who'll hurt you the deepest. Not because she's evil or out to destroy you, but because your desire for her blinds you to what's actually happening. You are so focused on the fantasy of what you want her to be, that you ignore what she's clearly showing you she is. And when a man ignores the signs, the relationship doesn't just fall apart, he does. So let's talk about 3 signs. She's not the right woman, no matter how badly you want her to be. 1. You feel like you have to earn her love. Love isn't a job interview. You shouldn't be auditioning for her approval every day. But when you're with the wrong woman, it starts to feel exactly like that. You overthink your texts, second-guess your tone, and keep trying to say or do just the right thing so she stays interested. You find yourself calculating your value. Was I man enough? Did I impress her? Why did she suddenly pull away after I opened up? And over time, you begin to believe that you're the problem, that maybe if you made more money, looked a certain way, said the right things, she'd finally treat you right. But the truth is, no matter how much you give, she'll never see it. Because when someone doesn't want to love you the way you deserve, your effort will never be enough. The right woman doesn't make you fight for her attention like a dog begging for scraps. She offers her energy. She reciprocates your effort. She shows up without you having to constantly pull her closer. If love feels like a constant test, you're in the wrong classroom. And the longer you try to prove yourself, the more you lose pieces of your identity, just trying to be enough for someone who was never ready to receive you in the first place. 2. You can't be your full self around her. In the beginning, it might feel like chemistry, like magic, but very quickly, you notice you're hiding things. You're not telling her when you're stressed. You laugh at things you don't find funny. You pretend to like things just to have common ground. You downplay your dreams, fears, or even your masculinity just to avoid her judgment. And you do it because deep down, you're afraid the real you might scare her off. But that's not love. That's performance. The right woman makes space for your whole self, not just the parts that entertain her, serve her, or please her. She doesn't punish you for having emotions, call you too much for being passionate, or belittle your silence when you're just trying to process. With her, you don't feel the need to filter everything you say. You can be flawed. You can be quiet. You can be raw, and still be wanted. If you constantly feel like you're wearing a mask around her, that's not a relationship, it's survival. And no man should have to shrink just to stay close to a woman. If she can't love you fully, she doesn't deserve you partially. 3. You're more anxious than peaceful around her. This might be the most important one. Ask yourself, does she bring peace or confusion into your life? Because that's your answer. You can be physically attracted. The sex can be wild. The emotional highs might feel addictive. But if your gut always feels tense, if you're constantly reading into her tone, wondering if she's mad or losing interest, that's anxiety, not love. That's trauma bonding. That's walking on an emotional minefield, where one wrong step could lead to emotional withdrawal or coldness. When a woman truly values you, she brings peace. You don't have to guess where you stand. She doesn't weaponize silence. She doesn't test your loyalty through manipulation or jealousy. She communicates. She respects your time, your energy, and your emotional state. But when you're dealing with someone who's hot one day, cold the next, compliments you in public but tears you down in private, blocks you when they're mad, then texts you like nothing happened, that's not passion. That's instability. That's damage dressed up as depth. And if it's slowly killing your spirit, it's not worth keeping. Sometimes we mistake chaos for love because it feels intense. But real love doesn't burn you alive, it lights the way forward. Look, I know it's hard. I know what it feels like to want her so bad you're willing to overlook everything. You keep telling yourself, maybe it'll change. Maybe if I'm patient. Maybe if I just love her better. But at some point, you have to stop begging for breadcrumbs and start demanding a seat at your own table. Because the right woman, she won't make you chase clarity. She won't punish your vulnerability. And she damn sure won't make you earn her love like it's some prize you unlock after enough suffering. She'll choose you fully, freely, and without making you. Question if you're worthy. Let's talk. Have you ever stayed with someone just because you wanted it to work, even when deep down you knew it was breaking you? Drop a broken heart if you've ignored the signs before, or tell us what finally made you walk away. You never know who you might help by sharing your story. If this resonated, hit that like button. It tells YouTube this kind of message matters. Comment below. I try to read as many as I can, and I appreciate every one of you who shares your truth. Send this to a brother who needs to hear it. Sometimes, a few real words can save someone from years of confusion. And if you're new here, subscribe and turn on the bell. Because every man deserves to hear what nobody taught us about relationships, masculinity, and self-worth. You're not alone, and this community proves it.